Does your starting class matter in Elden Ring? A little bit. I'll try and explain the main differences quickly for you here so you can make a decision if you're a brand new player to the game or a beginner to it. So you can see we've got a variety of character bases here, and if I flick through them quickly here, you can see we've got all sorts of different characters and they all look very different. So the first obvious difference is that they start with different armor and also weaponry, and you can see exactly what they start with by hitting show attributes down the bottom left hand side, and this will show you down the bottom of that bunch of information just underneath arcane. You can see their starting weaponry that they have. The thumbnail of the character is also giving you a hint as to what their armor is. So as you could expect, the Vagabond is featuring some heavier armor. You've also got a sword, shield, and halberd, so they're very good at melee. And if we go through here, you'll see certain characters have different stuff, like the astrologer. Although it's hard to see there, they start with a staff and they're good for magic. So what you've got in terms of differing classes here is some are geared towards melee, like the vagabond and the warrior and the hero. Some are geared towards stealth, like the bandit that we've got here. Then we have a magic user, and just for confusion in Elden Ring, there are two schools of magic. There is sorcery and there is incantation, and the starting skills for those vary. So if you're interested in sorcery, you focus on the, which one is it? The intelligence side. And if you are focusing on incantation, you focus on the faith side. So these two are really geared towards magic. And then you have characters that are a little more specialist. You've got the samurai, who has a mix of some pretty cool weapons. Got a katana and a bow and lots of starting arrows, so you can do a mix of melee with ranged combat. You've got the prisoner, who is a bit of a mix of magic and particularly on the sorcery side, but also quite able to wield a sword, as we can see here. We have the confessor, who is also a hybrid character, but focuses more on the faith side of things, but also really good with a broadsword. And then if you're not too sure, underneath here, if I just move my camera down low so you can see, the wretch starts with very little, like no armor, a club, but very even on the stats that we see here. So they're like, I'm not sure what I want to be, but I just want even stats all the way through, and then I will progress the character. The only thing to point out here is, although these starting information here varies quite a bit, if you're interested more in melee or you're interested more in magic, it can make sense to start with one of these, because although you can respec later and you can find different equipment and any class can use magic, you kind of have to develop the core stats around that, which I'll cover in a separate video. So my personal preference is pick the class that you have the most interest with. Be prepared to experiment a little bit and maybe start a new game to go back. A lot of people start with something like the Vagabond, which is a good melee all-round character with plenty of defense, and learn the combat basics. But if you're really interested in magic, you may want to excel in just magic. But personally, I like a hybrid character like the Confessor, because incantation's a lot of fun with the fire, but some people like magic, so they may start with a prisoner. I just don't like the look of the prisoner's starting gear, or even the confessor there. And if you're feeling really brave, the wretch. Hopefully that makes some kind of sense. If you want more information on the actual classes, though, I'll talk about that in a separate video. Thanks for watching.